Yo guys, so as you saw in the last video, rear end is in. We are a go on the rear end, which is cool. And again, like I said in the last video, suspension time. So I will show you the issue. So obviously the standard 4-motion rear end uses a separate spring and shock rather than coil over, rather than spring over shock. And I'm a bit, I mean that's where the spring would normally sit, so there's not much room in there, and it sticks out, the centre of the spring would stick out here, yeah, and I don't really like it. And the rear shock mount is there. Now on the 4-motion, it's actually different to every other Mark IV. So a normal Mark IV Golf, which is just front wheel drive, would have a shock that just goes straight up and the spring there, whereas the 4-motion has a shock that mounts to the back of the hub and goes off at an angle and goes off up there, sort of thing. So been umming and ahhing how to do it, and then I'm going to sack off all of that. So I ain't going to use this. I will cut this off eventually, and all I'm going to use is that mount. And to make my life hard, I'm going to make it really complicated, because that's what I do, and I want to try something different. So over here on the table is everything we need, hopefully, for suspension. So I'm not sure if you can figure out what we're going to do, but we're going to go cantilever in the back of the Corrado. Not only will, it's not too complicated, it's actually quite a simple way of making the suspension setup. It's not massively expensive, so I actually got these second hand. They came off like a Caterham. They're just universal gas gold shock coilovers. They're like, yeah, completely universal. I actually got a set of 4. I've got some shorter ones there, another one in there. But these are the longer, these have got a longer stroke on, so I'm going to use these. Paid like 90 quid for 4, and they've been used on like, I think it was 3 track days. So they're near new, so that's mint. Loads of rose joints or home joints, depending where you're from. Caps. Now, I didn't want to do bushes everywhere. I wanted to do everything as smooth as possible. So what I did was got these needle bearings and pressed these were the bushes that were in the shocks. So they're just a standard rubber bush. So I actually drilled them out and then punched them out, got rid of them. And I've done this already because I had to use I had to freeze the bearings and then I pushed them in at home. So I've actually changed these. So these are like high load needle bearings. So everything is now going to be nice and smooth. There'll be no restriction in the suspension. Everything will just roll nicely. These are heavy duty actual motorsport home joints. So they got like a polyurethane or a high tensile. So these are high impact. So these will be really nice and smooth. Brackets for the actual linkage system. This is just a 1-to-1, so these are all 100mm apart. It's a 1-to-1 system, so I did some research and some look into it. With cantilever, you can kind of just make it up as you go along to a certain extent. So with 1-to-1 ratio, this will just, the suspension will just work as the suspension is set up, if you know what I mean. Now what you can do, and what I will do eventually probably, this is just to get me going at the moment, is you can actually have these in different positions. So if I can find a pen, I'll draw it on the whiteboard. If I can find a pen, I'll try and draw it on the whiteboard anyway. So here you will have your wheel with your hub, and then you have an arm that comes up, and then what I'm going to have is basically this. So this will mount, this will be a pivot, this is a pivot, and then the shock, this is a very rough drawing, will come to here on my car onto the subframe bit like that. Something like that. Now 1-to-1 ratio, like I said, will just make this shock work as that shock is set up with whatever spring rates in it and the rebound and the compression, everything, the way I set it up. And what you can do is, if I was to change this triangle 1:1 ratio bracket and move, let's say, this hole over here, that would change the rate. And I think the further away from the shock it is, the longer travel it has and the softer it is. And the same if I was to move it in to like there, that would make it shorter and stiffer and so harder, basically. And you can also do the same with the shock, so you could move the shock further away, but most people just worry about this arm being movable. So that's the idea. So this goes up, which pushes that up, which pivots on this, that pushes that in. There's your cantilever suspension, basically. Pretty simple. But like I said, so I can, what I probably will do eventually is make something a little bit more adjustable on this. So when it's sat in the car, it will be sat roughly something like that, I would imagine. The arm off the hub will go to there, and then the shock will go to that one, and this will be the pivot point mounted in the car. So yeah, that's those bits. Now I bought these, will eventually, I need to turn them down a bit on the lathe, but these will sit inside there, and that's how it'll all fix up. Same with those, so you kind of get the idea. That's going to sit like that, and that will sit like that. And woo, yeah. Got some bar to make the actual arms with. Got this little bit of tube, which is for the actual pivot in the car. So I'll press one of those into that. What else? So I measured when the wheel was on, got a rough ride height, measured, and I've just drilled a hole there for now. That's roughly where the arm's going to come through off the hub and into the car. I would try and show you how it's all going to work, but I can't hold it all in place and whatnot. So we're just going to crack on and do it, basically. Yeah, I mean, I'm totally... Sorry about that, got interrupted. My old man came down. So, I can't remember where it was now. So, yeah, that's the plan. Gonna make it up as we go along. First thing I've got to do is sit on the lathe and turn these down. So, turn them down, make them a little bit shorter, and then from there, you can start putting shit together. Sound. Enjoy, guys. See you later. Cool, done. Turn those down. They will need shortening as well, but so I've turned them down enough that they're a nice fit in there now. So yeah, I will turn them down and take these fatter ends off because I don't need them that wide. So yeah, happy days. That little job is done. So nice bearings. Next is, we're going to cut some bar. I'm going to fit our end caps, and all the rest of it. Weld them in, and yeah, start building this rear suspension idea. See how it's going to work. Sound. Cheers, guys.
I money, power, respect, or you left with that. You bet your life on it, the truth you will never get. It's a cold world that's written by the Iceman. Think twice, man, before you go and cop some ice, man. They say you can't blame nobody for their ignorance. Mentality is foreign, and I ain't talking immigrants. I'm getting different paper now, and it's called knowledge. Had to acknowledge that brilliance always don't come from college. It depends on the degrees and on the different angles, especially if you're darker or your hair.
Now guys, right, so turned everything I needed to turn down on the lathe. Arms are now put together. So yeah, that's in there. So now we're going to TIG weld all the way around. Just a note, if you're ever going to make these, I've done it with one left hand and one right hand thread on each end. So then the adjustable, I think if you do it with like two rights, I've heard it's quite tricky to get it set up and they can rattle loose. So if you do a left hand thread and a right hand thread, it's a bit easier to set up, and they don't they fight against each other, so it's harder for it to all come loose. So yeah, you set a TIG up and get these tigged. Sound.
Tangles, ending racial discrimination should be the premise. I see they facial expressions when I say it, it's a grimace. A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel insane. A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel insane. It seems like everybody wants some dominance. I guess that's the price for gaining some prominence. The problem is, everybody wants some compliments, same condiments, but we don't know what a condom is. But who am I to talk? I'm just an average Joe. Sambos seem to blow with a fucking average flow. And these the characteristics of what a savage shows. Some people judging, always got some baggage though. Kumbaya is the goal, it's unrealistic. Even in reality, we gotta try to fix it. Kisses and hugs probably could really speed the soul. Never fit a mold, that should be the goal. Yeah. A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel insane.
So, they're done. Welded on. Both of them. So these are going to be the arms that go from the hub to all the linkage stuff. So I'm just screw on all the home joint stuff, and yeah, get all that on. I'll put the bars, put those linkage bars down onto the hub, bolt them up, and then from there we're gonna just, well, I'll just see where everything kind of sits really. Because I'm making it up as I go along. So yeah, let's crack on. Down. Alright guys. How's it going? Alright. So, can you see me? Yeah, you can just see me. Yeah, there you go. So, it's another day has gone past. A couple of days actually. The last clip you just saw was at the weekend. I ran out of time and battery. So yeah, this is where I got it. I did make this, which was just a rough sort of plate just to mount it to. But since then, I've done these nice shiny stainless ones. So the idea is, just got to take a bit off the edges, but that, yeah, take a little bit off these bottom edges, but yeah. So that's gonna sit up there, and then bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing. That's gonna sit up there, and we'll get that where we need it. So gonna get these to fit properly. Just need to take out these edges slightly. It's a little bit too much of a tight circumference. Only a little bit, so I'll take them out and get these in position, get it bolted in, and then we can start looking at the pivot point for down on these bottom joints. So I'm gonna have to put something, I don't know, here, not sure. We'll figure it out. We can come off there probably, it's pretty solid. Yeah, we'll maybe put a plate on that, and come up and down there, and then we'll have a nice solid point for a pivot. Cool, right, let's crack on with that. Cheers guys.
A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel insane. It seems like everybody wants some dominance. I guess that's the price for gaining some prominence. The problem is, everybody wants some compliments, same condiments, but we don't know what a condom is. But who am I to talk? I'm just an average Joe. Sambos seem to blow with a fucking average flow. And these the characteristics of what a savage shows. Some people judging, always got some baggage though. Kumbaya is the goal, it's unrealistic. Even in reality, we gotta try to fix it. We gotta try to fix it. A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel insane. A nigga know the pain. pain. Shit'll make you feel the same. A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel the same. A nigga know the pain. Shit'll make you feel the same. Check it. Gotta do. Get it.
Alright guys, I'm in a dilemma. I'm not sure how to do this. Sort of where the pivot point is going to be. Now, I'm going to tidy up all of this area down here. Take out a little bit more here and get that one sat and weld it on top of the chassis leg, and then brace it up to here. And I've done the same that side. I would match the angle of this one. All my other idea was coming off there and then like off there and down. There's a lot of funny angles and whatnot. I think this one is going to be my best option. I can take it all off, clean up those areas, both there and there, and weld them on there. What do you reckon, guys? Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to go with this. So I'm going to take it off, and I'm going to clean up all of this area here and that area there, and prep it to be welded. Sound?
Check it. In every 316, I'm always reppin' Austin. Y'all demeaning real talent, that shit is so exhausting. Never did it for the fame, fuck what it's costing. My bars is icy as fuck, that's why my fingers frosting. How the fuck did you do it with no visuals? Because my rhymes is everlasting like residuals. Some of y'all was on some evil shit and rituals. Afterwards you niggas claim you niggas are so spiritual. None of you niggas reliable, that's why society hold you liable. So I question what you lying for, keep my blade sharp, feel like I'm lying, no. Komodo dragon flow, tryna spit the kill. Poppin' pills, sleeping on me like some NyQuil. Hold that Texas down, coated in some blue bill. Making magic, man, no Shaquille. Check it, what do I gotta do? I've been trying to get it, been trying to make a move. Check it, what do I gotta do? I've been trying to get it, been trying to make a move. Everybody lives and everybody sins. Everybody starts and everybody ends. Boom bap is like my second language. If I bust the rhymes, you gon' say I'm dangerous like Mr. T. I'm like a black saying if it ain't about the money or who you train with. Fuck your auto-tune and what you niggas sang with. Punchlines like I'm Frank Dukes, giving niggas spooks every time I hit the booth, shooting blank dukes. All these niggas be some flukes. A lot of these niggas got no jukes. A lot of these niggas got no moves. Just 808 with flutes. I'm trying to run the game like a Michael J. I slid into some fame like a Michael J. Don't make me shoot the fade like a Michael J. Been a dog for decades like Michael J. Check it, what do I gotta do? I've been trying to get it, been trying to make a move. Check it, what do I gotta do? I've been trying to get it, been trying to make a move.
Yeah. Shit, can't hear shit. It's from me and mine to you and yours. So take a time out. Getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak nature, nice to meet you. This from me and mine to you and yours. So take a time out. Getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet you. The nature of freaks, another brother baying my shit. I'm beating it up, and in return she catered to me. So save it, legs split like she making a piece.
Hey guys, so another evening. As you saw, that last little clip, I plated in the tacked in those plates there to weld the uprights too. There and there. We've got to finish doing that, but they're in, not going anywhere. That is also tacked in place. So yeah, next we need to make the parts for the last two bearings to sit in. So this will be the pivot point bearings. Tube somewhere. Don't know where it's gone. Where the hell's it gone? Ah, here it is. So got some pre-drilled holes. So I need to cut this in the middle, tidy it in the edge, tidy the edges up. Then this tube, I can't really show you, but this tube is going to go through there. I'll weld it in place. Bearing will press into this tube. I'll then weld that on top of the uprights that I've already cut, which are here. So they'll then get welded to the tops of these. I'll cut these off straight, plate them, and then fingers crossed they'll go in and everyone's a winner, baby. So yeah, that's what we're doing next. Fingers crossed it all works. Sound. Cheers, guys.
Recline on a bag in a V. Amazing as she is, this sweetness is frequent. I don't ever have to wait on my tip. These women believe in them, that G's in them. I keep spinning and I'm making them meet. Yeah, the new next and who's left but Hugh Hefner. Told her come with the dawn, you could do better. Remember the time? Mike Jack. She tried to leave me out of blue moon. Walk right back to the cool goon. The car vroom vroom. That's the cat call. A daddy Mac, y'all. I break that ass off, then break it off again when your cat's out. This for me and mine, to you and yours. So take the time out, getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet ya. This for me and mine, to you and yours. So take the time out, getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet ya. Vaginal wet, baby, this is capital sex, casual yet. The cougars in there having the best. I break her in half. This could be a magic duet. Her ass in the chest, got these suckers massive upset. I'm laughing. You come back with a vet. It's a long line, no guarantees, baby. Love me one time. Come on, the cunt. I'm a dog, of course. It just depends what kind of rider you want. The kitty, and I'm high for blunt with a good day. Hoping it's the same as South Central LA. Cause this Patron buzz make me want love you. Ain't no half stepping when a thug move. Blood move from the subwoofers I turn down. Cause to turn up wanna get the word round. I'm the man of the house. When she step in the doors, I'ma have to let the animal out. Yeah, this for me and mine, to you and yours. So take the time out, getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet ya. Yeah, this for me and mine, to you and yours. So take the time out, getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet ya. Yeah, this for me and mine, to you and yours. So take a time out, getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet ya. This for me and mine, to you and yours. So take a time out, getting you involved with the new evolve. Freak of nature, nice to meet ya. Baby, oh, you know how we do. Schmo, slug.
there's some strange evolutionary process going on, but mankind won't be destroyed. The fact that you and I are working here today is evidence of that evidence.
Hey guys, what's up? So, yeah, it's in. If you're like me, you might be thinking, hey Luke, why are you fully welding the thing in? You haven't even tested it yet. And unfortunately that didn't come into my brain until I'd done the last few bits of MIG welding on the bottom of that tube. But like I always say, I'm giving this a go and I don't know really what I'm doing. So if it doesn't work, we'll just have to cut it all off, start again. But if I'm going to fail, these two guys are going to see it as well. So I'll give you a move and we'll lift the wheel and see what happens. Fingers crossed guys, cheers. Right, you ready? I'm going to lift the wheel. Hopefully these will go. Fingers crossed guys. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Look at that. Outside. Slow the rebound down on that bit. Howdy fucking works, guys, woo! There you go, race car suspension in the back of the Corrado. It's all a bit loose still, because I gotta tighten everything up and make bushes and whatnot. So there'll be like plastic bushes that go in between the clamping points and the roller bearings, packet full of grease, obviously I won't bother that. Got all the springs, found some, need to order them. Got to fully weld this, but fucking get in. Take you off there. Ha! Fuck me. Only fucking works. So, the arm comes up, pushes that, pivots on that, bar there, and that pushes that in there, and that's how it works. And I made it work all by myself. Fucking get in. Same on there. So, next, all the springs. Fully weld this in, and I'm going to put a support bar off here going to there. Obviously because there's a lot of pressure pushing that way, so we don't want any flex in it. So we'll put a bar in there, top up some of the welds. Well, I can make some, got some polyurethane to make some bushes to go in between, I'll show you. So at the moment there's that. So what I'll do is I've got some polyurethane that will go in between there and it will just hold it central. I mean, once there's load on it, it's not going to slide anyway once there's load under it and the springs in it, but we'll do it anyway. Stop any movement. It'll just get rid of any of that. Like I said, a lot of that is just shit's not tight and whatnot. So yeah, there you go, guys. That is the end of this video. Next time, I don't really know. We'll make up like we always do. Woo! I'm gonna go home and celebrate. Cheers! Bye!
Hear that music? What do you know?